I went to agricultural school, and then a friend and I were travelling through the Barossa, nearly 45 years ago.
What is the first wine you tasted?
When I first came to the Barossa back in the early 70s, port wine was very popular.
Wow.
So the very first wine I probably tasted would have been a Barossa port. I was winemaker with Peter Lehman, a very famous Barossa figure, for quite some years before I started my own winery 30 years ago. So we've been here 30 years on this vineyard. There was a very large wine surplus here in Australia back in the mid-80s. A friend of mine had a vineyard and had grapes that he couldn't sell. So I said to him, we will turn those grapes into a wine. That very first wine was a sparkling Shiraz. It's a style that's well over 100 years old here. So that's how Charles Melton wine got started. Sparkling Shiraz still remains uniquely Australian.
Yes,
no one else in the world understands sparkling Shiraz. Only Australians tend to do it. So a full-bodied sparkling Shiraz is very hard for them to understand. So we don't send much of that overseas. We make rich, generous Barossa wines. The Barossa has a particular style of red wine that we make. They have a lovely warmth and generosity to them, which is, as I say, which is really a reflection of Barossa people. We're considered one of the wineries that really repopularised Grenache as a variety. We own a lot of very old Grenache vineyards, going back to well over 100 years old. The key thing about the Barossa, honestly, is that we have such a wonderful history here with these old vines. That, this place has been growing grapes for 170 years. There was a group of people who could see that there was a future for these very old vines. And
I heard one of your wines linked to your wife. Can you tell a story about that?
Well,
is that kind of gift to your wife?
Yes, it is a gift to my wife. Rose of Virginia is named after my wife. Virginia and I have been married now for 30 years, and if you've been married to the same woman for 30 years, naming a wine after my wife would help me go from not being popular back to being popular. So
you're very smart.
That's right. And it worked sometimes. I've been involved in the wine industry now for 44 years. Next harvest is my 45th harvest. There are times when you are a good man and times when you are not so popular. Two Sydney boys who came here and stayed. He's still here, he's now retired, but he worked in the wine industry for well over 40 years, and we never left.